Hello and welcome back to Horrific Horror Review. I'm Jim King.
I'm Eric B.
How's it going? It's been a while.
Yeah.
I see you at work, but we don't get as much time to chat movies like we did.
No, life gets complicated sometimes.
Of course it does. So what do you got? You want to talk about the torture scene.
Well, I'm kind of talked out now about that. Yeah,
Okay.
I think I said what I wanted to say.
All right.
It was cool. I don't really have much to fucking say about it, honestly.
Right.
I don't watch much in the way of television shows. I know they're good. I just, like, my girlfriend will binge watch shows. Like, she'll watch, like, a whole season in a couple days or whatever, or a day if it's the weekend.
Yeah,
like, she'll put on a show, and I'll get into it, and I'll be like, oh, I like this show. I'll watch an episode with her, then I'll go about doing my shit. And then later that night, it'll be like, hey, let's watch another episode of that show. And she'll be like, oh, I finished the whole season. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, I don't consume entertainment like that, you know?
I do.
And, like, I like to watch a thing and let it settle in. Talk about it.
Like how it used to be where you had to wait a week for the next episode
yes,
to come out.
yeah, exactly. Like, I like to, it doesn't have to necessarily be a week.
But you know what I mean? They put gaps in it.
But all day, like, I can't do anything all day, man. Like, I get bored quick, you know? I'm like, all right, well, I want something that tastes different right now, the next 3 hours, you know what I'm saying? But, so I don't watch Daredevil or The Punisher, which surprises a lot of people because I'm a comic book nerd. But, I don't know, Daredevil didn't really appeal to me.
Me either.
But The Punisher is my guy, like, that's my character. And I really thought that guy was a super good choice for The Punisher. But I still I don't know, man. Hey, what do you want to watch? Dr. Phibes. You know what I'm saying? I always go back to, like, Madhouse. You've seen Madhouse 18 fucking times. Yeah, I know, but it's Vincent Price and it's Peter Cushing and it's fucking awesome.
Right.
And it's the fucking 70s and I missed all that coolness, you know? It seemed like such a cool time. But, yeah, I always go back to, like, old horror movies that I've already seen. I don't know why I do that, but I do. Because while it's on, I do other things.
Right, because you've seen it. So you can multitask.
So I'm, like, drawing or writing or fucking cleaning. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But when it comes to new shit, you really have to settle in and pay attention so that you know what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's part of my problem. But the torture. So I saw the. Well, I could probably part of it. I saw the torture scene from Daredevil season 2, where the Irish mob tortures Frank Castle, and I was like, "Oh, that's so Frank. It's just fuck you.
Yeah.
Go drill my foot.
Yep.
Drill it. I will fuck you in your eye hole when you're done doing it."
Right.
Like.
That's how the whole show is. I love the Punisher show. I powered through the first season.
I didn't watch it.
I started the second season last night, and I'm 3 episodes into it now.
You know what bugged me?
Lots of gratuitous gore.
You know what fucking bugged me about it? And I think this is it. Is when you read the Punisher comics, it's all Frank.
Right.
And there's all these other characters on that TV show.
Right.
You don't get that involved with the enemy in the Punisher comics as it seems with this show.
Yeah.
It's just him fucking people up every issue. And it's like this show, like, they definitely, it seems like they give you some really good Frank Castle moments.
Oh yeah.
You're right?
Oh yeah. Lots of them.
But there's all this other shit in between that I could give a fucking fuck about.
They have to give the filler to at least have a seeming backstory to how he got to a place where now he's going to kill these 12 people at once.
I know, but there's ways of doing that.
To tie it together.
I might find more interesting.
And they have to have, like, the gratuitous sex scenes and
that's
some
another
backstory.
thing. Frank doesn't do a whole lot of fucking.
But
Does
he
he?
doesn't in
Does
this
he?
either.
Yeah, but he's not.
But they have to put stuff in there to get your girlfriend to watch it with you.
The Frank Castle from the comics is so fucking dedicated to just eliminating anyone who he thinks is a piece of dog shit.
Oh yeah, he didn't like romance this girl at all. She took him home, and he was like, "Fine, I can go to my hotel. I can go back with you. It don't matter." And
that's the thing that bugs me though. Was the like it just seems too casual of a Punisher to me. Frank's not.
You have to watch it. He's not too casual. He's pretty fucking uptight.
Well, I don't mean he's not uptight. I just mean he's gonna go work construction and live a normal life.
Yeah, no.
Never in a million fucking years. He's gonna go right back to killing motherfuckers. He's not gonna bother getting a construction job. Yeah, he took
the weekend off and ended up falling into a whole bunch of mess just being in a fucking roadside bar. Wrong place, wrong time, or right place, right time, depending on how he looks at it. Like this girl says to him at one point, she's like, "Do you think there's going to be more of them coming?" And he's like, "I hope so." You know.
One scene I did like. There was the only two scenes that I really give a fuck about, and I said, I haven't watched the whole thing. I've just like kind of flipped through, trying to get a taste for do I want to give this a shot or not. And there was another torture scene where he's being tortured by Agent Orange. I believe it's from season 1 of The Punisher. And, like, at one point, like, they fucked him up so bad, they give him a shot of adrenaline, like, wake him up. Yep. And he, like, hallucinates, like, he's dying. Like, he's dying. And his wife is like, "Come home."
Right.
And he's like, "I am home." And that's, like, that's Frank Castle. He's at home in war. Like, that's his home, is war.
Yeah.
And, like, sure, he totally loved his wife and his family. But that doesn't change the fact that his nature, like, predicates him being in a state of, like, motion. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that doesn't, like, a family's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Like when you're like moving through people constantly, like he's like a bullet, dude. I love that character.
I know.
And they really did.
Yeah,
they did really good in that moment, kind of explaining like it's not like it's about vengeance because they took that shit away from him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's also about like. This is really what this guy does insanely fucking well.
Yeah.
Like, he was born to fight. Period. Like, there are people like that. They're just born to be weapons. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're genetically predisposed to be a weapon. And when they wind up in a situation where they didn't become an athlete, they didn't go off and do IT. They wound up becoming like an Army fucking Ranger and a Green Beret or what the fuck ever. And they become killing fucking machines. Like, they are better than groups like Delta Force and shit are made to, like, weed those guys out of the regular army.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but, he's just sick. He's so much better than a superhero.
Agreed.
So much better. Like, that's why it's hard for me when he pops up in other comic book stories. Like, no, well, then everyone would be dead. And it'd be game fucking over. Because he doesn't... Like, it's almost like when they insert the Punisher into other comic book stories, like the Avengers and shit. It's like... It just doesn't work. He changes the rules of that story now, or they have to put like big old puffy gloves on the Punisher, and which is usually what they do. They make him way less lethal,
Right.
They try to like kind of mix up the Punisher. There's that like Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher universe that I don't still. It's like again when he get his origins with Daredevil. Dude, I don't know. I just don't like Daredevil enough, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, in the comics, his first appearance was, like, to assassinate Spider. Like, he was a villain. He was going to kill Spider. He was, like, hired to kill Spider-Man, I think. I don't remember exactly, but he was a villain. And, like, in the traditional comic book superhero douchebag's eyes, Frank Castle's a straight-up bad guy. Bad guy. But in the real world, like, he's a good guy. That's, like, the best guy. You know what I mean? Every block needs a Punisher. Can you imagine what the fucking, you know, what the state of the world would be in? People wouldn't constantly fuck each other over.
True.
He's my favorite superhero. For sure. For sure. But you like that show, huh?
I like it. I like it. It's worth watching.
Do I have to push a button on this or something?
Nope. So, horror movies.
Well,
what have you watched lately?
What have I watched? I got into a heated debate about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
With?
Fucking, I got a friend of mine.
Okay.
I was like, was it a cousin? No, he's not really. Fucking,
Great cheese.
I don't know how you can not like it.
It's so bad, it's fantastic.
How can you not like that fucking movie?
I don't know.
Like, you like horror movies and you don't like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2? Well, I went into it liking 1. Fuck you.
Okay.
I would like, yeah, 1 was great. But, like, I don't know, were you expecting, like, I hate people that expect, like, a complete, like, recreation of the first, like, well, you already saw that. Why do you want it again?
You have to look at when that was made, too. Like, it fits its era perfect.
The early 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was super cool, man.
The guy with the glasses, with the eyes.
The 2 dickheads in the beginning, our first victims.
Yeah.
Can you play that one track? What is it? I like that one.
That's a great movie. That's got a lot of my favorite stuff in it.
There's so many like horror movie like tropes and cliches and lines that came out of just part 2.
Just part 2, yeah.
Like the insanity, the over the top fucking insanity of part 2. I remember part 2 being a real fucking mind fuck when I was like, I was little. I was born in 78. So like, I don't know, what, 84, something like that. I was a kid and I was like, man, when Dennis Hopper runs a fucking chainsaw through Leatherface and it's hanging out of his gut and guts are falling out and like, my little ass was like, holy fuck. Like, you're not supposed to see shit like that yet. And it just happened.
See, I was a couple years older than you. And I was the scene where she's, like, trying to, like, get him super excited. And he's got the chainsaw and he's revving it. And she's, like, opening her legs wearing the, like, cut off shirt.
I wouldn't say she was trying to get him excited. She's trying to calm his ass down.
He got excited then, yeah.
You know?
Like, that was fucking weird to me when I was a kid. I kept waiting for him to
when she was touching the chainsaw, yeah, it was gross.
It was interesting.
You know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of the scene in RoboCop 2 where the bad guy, Kane, he's been turned into RoboCop 2, right? Big old... And he's like he's just a brain in a jar with a couple eyeballs. And he goes to his old gang, like he breaks out and he goes and finds his old gang and his old girlfriend and shit. And he busts out this like pincher chainsaw dick thing, like whap. And she like runs her finger up like some serrated edge or something. That reminded me of that scene. For those 2 scenes, disturbing.
Exactly.
Because that's going to result in, 7. Get this fucking thing off me!
Exactly. And you can't not think of that next, right?
Get this fucking thing off of me!
He made me.
And I did. I fucked her. I did. That guy was freaking as you could imagine. I would freak out. Seven was a
crazy movie.
Interesting movie.
So I recently watched something I've never seen before. I'm going to admit it, and a lot of people are going, what? I watched Sleepaway Camp 2.
Sick. A lot of fun. Silly fun.
Oh my goodness. It was a good time. It was fun.
So Sleepaway 2 is another example of an 80s slasher movie where with the sequel, where the original was so straight and just straight scary, the sequel was like fucking goofy and weird as fuck.
Totally.
Like, because the first one was a straight slasher.
It was a slasher right up until the last 30 seconds, and then you went, what?
Like, that's insane! Holy shit!
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the sequel, it's like, let's go in a whole other direction.
Really bad camping songs.
She
really
was
bad
great.
Mullets.
She was great in that movie. She was super funny. I liked it. I didn't like it as a kid. I remember seeing that. I was just getting into horror. You know what I mean? Probably my 12-year-old self. And I'm really diving in. You know? Getting Fangoria every month and shit.
Okay. Going for it.
Eating it up. And because you're 12, you haven't seen every single thing yet. So everything you see, you're seeing for the first time.
Right.
I'm just like devouring horror like a fucking starving man. And fucking Sleepaway. I see the cover. I'm the same, you know, you go to your video store and you scour that horror section and eventually like you start getting down to the bottom of the barrel.
Yep.
And you're like, I keep looking at this fucking Sleepaway Camp 2 box, and there's something that irritates me about it. It's this chick, and in her backpack is a fucking hockey mask and a fucking Freddy fucking claw. And I'm like, what is this cheap, cheesy shit?
Yep.
I wasn't like...
The font is bloody drip.
I wasn't a horror, like, a jaded old horror fan yet. Like, I've seen it all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I was
I know what you mean.
still...
Those boxes down on the bottom row you avoided. Like, it was right next to Basket Case. And
Basket Case, I got lucky because my dad was like, you gotta see Basket Case.
And on the other side of Toxic Avenger.
Which was...
well.
Yeah, everyone was excited about that one.
Not me. When I was a kid,
I remember the kids in my neighborhood being like, the Toxic Avenger is so fucked up. Like, and he was pretty great. That was a time, you know, the 80s were a time of toxicity and toxic waste.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, it was such a... The word toxic waste and its use in 80s horror movies. That
nuclear symbol on the side of a barrel.
And toxic waste covers such a huge gamut of fucking toxic waste. It could mean anything.
Did you see a movie with Chevy Chase? He's driving behind a truck and the toxic waste dumps out the barrel.
Yes, I did.
And he has the ability to like give people bloody noses. And
I did see. Yeah, you know what? Fucking weird that I probably haven't thought of that movie since I was a kid. That's not a movie that they show on TV or anything ever.
No.
That's a weird... You ever notice they don't play, like, some of those weird 80s movies on TV?
That was a great movie, though. I loved it. It had, like, George Carlin in it, too, I think.
I don't remember that. But
he was in a wheelchair. He played a guy in a wheelchair.
I specifically remember that scene with Chevy Chase. Like, it's some green glowing shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
I do remember
his
that.
His ex-wife's out with Eugene Levitz on a date.
Eugene Levy?
And makes him have a bloody nose that's like shooting 8 feet out of his nose.
Gross, man.
Oh, it was awesome. It was
weird. Wow, no.
He snorts, and it's got a...
I remember vaguely.
It has the big black lady that used to be the housemaid. No Carter. Does that sound right?
Oh, yeah. Give me a break.
Yeah, she's like this voodoo lady that puts out all this voodoo powder.
She was in a bunch of shit in the 80s.
And he snorts it all up. So 80s. Anyway, yeah. Toxicity was a big thing.
Toxic waste. I remember that word being all over.
You seen
RoboCop.
Chernobyl Diaries?
Yeah, I've seen that movie. I like that movie.
I liked it all right. I only watched it once, but it was good.
I watched the Chernobyl Diaries in the theater, actually.
Oh, shit.
I
It was in the theater?
I really liked it.
I didn't know it was in the theater.
I really
thought it was one
liked
of those,
it.
Straight to
DVD
things.
I love Russia. I think
That's why I was
Russia
asking.
is
I'm
one
like,
of
you had
the
to have seen this.
craziest countries or continents, whatever. It's USS. I don't know what they call it now. It's Russia again, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that happened like 30 years ago, right? Right. It's just, I love their UFO stories. I love their they've got the Russian Bigfoot. They've got their own, they've got their own, real cool personality, Russia.
And I love their view of us.
An AK in every home. We're such pussies to them.
Vodka.
We're such pussies to, but anyway.
Okay, they're blue jean jingo jango.
Yeah, we're real weak. The social justice warrior thing they think is hilarious. We're so soft to them, But I love that country, and I love its folklore, especially.
Sure.
I love its folklore and its monsters and shit, and that the Cold War. I love shit all the weird stories about Russia during the Cold War.
I love how they put all the safety ethics to the side.
Oh, let's just move forward.
Make it happen.
Yeah, great shit.
Yeah,
they're missing
nuclear reactors that are leaking.
They're missing cosmonauts and shit.
Right.
How
many just kept going?
Fuck, yeah, great stories, man. But I did see Chernobyl Diaries in the theater, and I thought it was really fucking good. It was a really well-made movie. I liked it. Maybe it's because I'm really into Russia, and I've always wanted to go to Chernobyl, and that's a really interesting.
I was really intrigued by the layout, the empty cities, the empty playgrounds,
that empty town.
Yeah, I would love to go cruise that.
Emptied it out in a day, hours.
Yeah,
out. Everybody leave everything out, and to see nature retake a place like that, and especially a place like a nuclear power plant where shit went wrong, but nature is still taking it back. I don't worry about this fucking planet at all.
Oh, it'll take care of
itself. It'll be fine. We're fucked.
Right.
We're gonna fucking rot and fucking, just fall apart. But the planet will be it swallows shit up.
You ever see advertisements? I don't know if it actually happened.
It's amazing.
There was a show where they were showing 10-year progression.
Yeah, it was on History Channel or something. It was in 100 years with no people, 1,000 years with no people, a million years with no people.
Fines up the sides of the buildings and shit.
They got to a point where it's just we're back to normal.
Yeah,
everything is gone. Everything
almost.
Made out of metal has just been just joined back into the soil. Everything is gone. The only thing that's still there are the stone structures that have so little cavity in them that they haven't fallen apart. The fucking pyramids will probably still be there. Do you know what I mean? Because there's nothing there. What? It's a pile of stone. There's no rooms to cave in. There's no, that's why that shit will always be there. Fuck, I think that shit's way older, but I'm not going to get into that. Let's not get into that conversation. Zahi Hawass. Did you see that picture of fucking Mulder and...
I posted it.
You did? That was you. Yeah. Tsoukalos. The soup.
Yeah. And they're both doing the hand motion. Aliens. It was the perfectest picture ever.
That's right. And I was like, I can die now.
Yep.
Because I can. Because that was the most...
That's the one.
Come on, man. That guy needs to be on the X-Files, dude.
Oh my God, yes.
He needs to be on the X-Files. Tsoukalos!
I needed a new season bad. I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm a big fan of him. I'm a big fan of Gregorio
Yeah?
Tsoukalos. I think he's a riot. I think
he's really fun to watch.
he's made a really good living out of something that's really fun. You know what I mean? Like like everything's alien, so it's hilarious.
Everything.
Like so that's the joke now. So it's just you can't really take him seriously anymore.
Nope.
But he's great. Like I love his enthusiasm.
The first couple times I thought it was great. After a while I was like, oh my god, he says it for everything.
Well, he was just rehashing Eric Von Daniken's old fucking bullshit from the 60s.
The show I was watching too, they would clip him in. You know, they would insert use that one scene. Yes. It's not like he said it thousands of times. They just used it thousands of times. Yeah, it was great. Some of my favorite monsters are from X-Files. I love that show.
This is a good show. But what made you bring up Chernobyl Diaries?
I started talking about Russia.
Oh, well, I do love me some Russia. Great firearms coming out of that country.
We were talking about horror movies. I don't know how it went to there.
There was a Russian movie, I believe, that was kind of like a Russian superhero movie. And it looked really good. Like it was a superhero team. One guy was like super speed, but he had these like crazy knives. So he was just like a knife flying through a battlefield, like killing and then one guy was like a big bear because Russia's thing is like bear. He was like their Hulk. Mm-hmm. And it was in Russia.
That sounds pretty awesome, actually.
It was amazing. I like the bear idea. They had their version of Captain America, dude. I thought it was going to be lame. It was sick, dude. Sick. I forget the name of it, though, so I'm kind of a douchebag for bringing it up.
In under 1 minute, who wins a fight? Straight up, the Thing or the Hulk?
The Hulk, man. And I say that with a heavy heart.
I said, damn it.
I want it to be the Thing. Because I prefer the Thing. I connect with the Thing. I like when you talk about like my top 5 favorite Marvel guys, Punisher is number 1. The Thing, I don't know where he is in that bottom 4. It varies
day to day.
But he's in my top 5.
Okay.
And
Ben Grimm, right?
Yep. Yeah. And I hate that the Hulk, but the Hulk is the Hulk, bro. He's World Breaker Hulk. You cannot fuck with him. Like the Thing.
Thanos knocked him out.
At one point in time, the Thing was like mutated further. Like
so not just
he like rocks. Went like his rocks got all spiky, like developed points all over.
Okay, even better.
And he got stronger, like way stronger. And at the time, the Hulk had reverted from Green Hulk down to Gray Hulk, which is a more intelligent Hulk, still crazy strong, but not as strong as Green Hulk, right?
Okay.
They fought, and they fought, and the Thing won.
Okay.
But it's kind of a fucking loaded question,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As they are,
yeah,
it's Hulk every time, and that sucks. Because I really want the Thing to win.
I just wanted to see what you'd say.
Yeah,
I want the Thing to win, too.
It's not fair. It sucks. I think he should get a shot, at least just them. Just them as they are, I would like to see one time where the Thing wins.
But so we have 1 minute left. What about the new Ghostbusters? Excited or suck?
Excited. It's Bill Murray.
Excited, too.
It's Bill Murray!
Right? They showed the tail end of the car. If you haven't got to check it out,
check it out. Murray.
On our next episode, I want to talk about Cold Skin.
Yeah.
I'll check out that trailer so you can understand what we're talking about later.
Ray Park was a good Punisher.
Yeah, right.
He's a good Punisher.
All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Adios, muchachos.